Welcome to the Long Run. I'm Joel.
And I'm Christy.
What are we doing today?
Today we're going to be doing an experiment kind of thing. We're going to be price comparing Aldi versus Walmart. Now recently, probably about 2 months ago, AARP magazine had a price comparison where they determined that Aldi is cheaper than Walmart and Target. And while we're not arguing that Aldi is cheaper than Walmart, there were some inconsistencies in the article, and so we thought, let's take this list of products that they used, let's price compare and see what kind of deal, like do we find the same prices? And you'll be able to see exactly what we picked up off the shelf, because it's a video, that was an article, and they only wrote like rice
Yeah.
or bananas, like, so you couldn't see. They chose to compare everything just about pound to pound, which is fine, but you didn't know if they were using generic to brand name, and you'll be able to see it in this video. So we want to take you to do that.
All right, let's get to it.
Okay. All right, and we always start price comparison videos at Aldi because their app is not good and is very, very hard to price compare in there. Walmart's is a little better at that. So we will start here. All right, so we're starting here at bread, and they have on their list that bread, and it wasn't supposed to be all that long ago, but they have that it was supposed to be 40 cents per pound. All right, so this is 20 ounces. So what we did was we took the total, $1.39. We divided that by 20, then multiplied it by 16 to get the per pound price, and it would be $1.11 for a pound. So I don't know that they did their price comparison in Long Island, New York, and we are in Orlando, Florida. I don't think that we would have that big of a price difference, but maybe. Okay, and just as a note, I'll be jumping back between Aldi and Walmart every time, and when we go to Walmart, we'll tell you which one actually was the better deal based on the price. All right, and for the bread at Walmart, Great Value bread, that is $1.42 for 20 ounces, and so that means $1.13 per pound. Another thing that was on their list was pretzel sticks, like this, and this is supposed to be a 1 pound bag, and that is $2.09 for a 1 pound bag. All right, $2.24 here for the pretzel sticks. They also had on their list kettle chips, and it's $1.95, but that's only an 8-ounce bag. So for them to get the 1 pound conversion, that would be 2 times that. So you'd have to buy 2 bags to get a pound. And so that would be $3.90. All right, so this is the only kettle chips in the Great Value brand that we can find. And we think the price, well, we scanned it. We made sure the price was what it was supposed to be, but it's down there. It's $1.98, so that's $3.96. They had that shredded cheddar cheese on their list, and the bag is actually 1 pound, so it's $3.79. All right, and so here's the generic version of the cheddar cheese. It's $4.22. They had mixed nuts on the list, and unfortunately, even though they have per pound on the article, this doesn't actually come in a per pound container. It's 14.75 right there. So it would be $4.77 to get a pound. Okay, as you can see, we have a little obstacle to get to the mixed nuts, but here it is. And it was $5.95, I think he said, for a pound of mixed nuts. So they had Macintosh apples. They are $3.29 for 3 pounds. So 1 pound would be $1. $1 and $1.10. All right, tell them that.
All right, so we got to Walmart. First thing on our list is Macintosh apples. They don't have Macintosh apples at Walmart.
At least not ours.
It's not here.
Yeah, so we will throw that out of our totals and just say because Walmart doesn't have it, we won't price compare the apples. Okay? All right, so one thing it had listed on there was iceberg lettuce. Aldi doesn't have like iceberg lettuce in a whole form. It just has it in the shredded, so we assume that's what it's talking about. That is an 8-ounce bag, so 2 times that. All right, the shredded lettuce here is also in an 8-ounce pack, like it was at Aldi. It's $1.98 for 8 ounces. And another thing they had was yellow onions, and they are $1.10 per pound. All right, so y'all know we have a hate for the texture of onions, so we don't even know what the price normally is for onions in either store. So you saw what it was at Aldi, and at Walmart it is $2.84 for the bag, right? And it's 3 pounds. All right, and then bananas, 49 cents per pound. But I'm going to be honest with you, I do not buy bananas at Aldi because I find that they go from green to brown with no yellow in between. They're just not a good quality. And we talked about bananas in Aldi already, 49 cents per pound, and it does beat Walmart because Walmart is 50 cents per pound. All right, we also have russet potatoes on our list, and this is a 10-pound bag. $4.49 for 10 pounds. All right, so because we found a 10-pound bag of russet potatoes at Aldi, we looked for the 10-pound bag at Walmart, and it is 58 cents per pound. Okay, so one of our big questions in that article was, did they use this size peanut butter to figure out the per pound, or did they use the bigger size? The bigger size is going to be a better value, but because it's like 2 pounds and 8 ounces, this one is 18 ounces. If they went by this one, currently it's $2.09 for the whole thing, so it was $1.87. All right, so we have the 1 pound or 16 ounce container of creamy peanut butter, $1.94. It was $1.87 at Aldi, so a little bit cheaper at Aldi. But I will say, as we noted, they did not acknowledge other sizes or even tell you what size they really used to figure this out. So there's supposed to be a peanut butter here that is bigger, that might have been cheaper. And then this one, right, how much is it?
It's 10.1 cents per ounce, which is about, I don't know, I'd have to do the math on it.
$1.60 something.
Yeah, $1.60 per pound.
So that would be cheaper. So if you thought that your family would go through a size this big, you'd save money by getting it a much larger container. They also have white rice on the list, and this white rice is the one we normally get because it, generally speaking, is a better price than Walmart's. It's $2.65. So the rice here is $1.77 for 2 pounds. We don't have a 3-pound bag option. So that is exactly the exact same price as it is at Aldi at 88 cents per pound. If you get the 2 pounds, so you'd have to get to the little extra note to make, though, is like we said, they didn't seem to take into account other sized options buying in bulk. In this case, it would be a lot cheaper to buy the 5 pound because it'd be 67 cents per pound from the 5 pound option. So that might be something to keep in mind if you have a place to store 5 pounds at a time. Then you might save money by buying it at Walmart over Aldi. All right, so as you can see, we are stopping at Corn Flakes because that was on the list. This is their generic brand, Millville. I don't think they have the brand name cornflakes like the Kellogg's. So we'll be comparing some kind of generic in Walmart to this to get the price differences. But let's see. How many ounces is that?
That's 18.
That's 18, so just a little more than a pound. $1.95 for a pound because it's $2.19 for 18 ounces. All right, and cornflakes, the Great Value version, $2.24 is for an 18-ounce box. So that's $1.98. Salmon fillet was on the list, and it is $8.79 per pound for that. Okay, so here's the salmon fillets, and is $8.98 per pound. Okay, so if you got the 73.27, it would be $3.89 per pound, which sounds really low. But I will say that we have bought 73.27 here, and that
Not good.
it's not good. Yeah, I didn't know what you were shaking your head at. Yeah, no, we noticed that even though we had it wrapped in the freezer, it went bad really fast, even inside the freezer. So we were like, what? So we don't buy ground beef here.
This one is $85.15 is $4.99.
Yeah, $85.15. Okay. So anyway, I don't believe it told us what percentage they were basing that on. So maybe we'll just look at both of them. It's either $3.89 or $4.99, and we'll let you know the difference. But like I said, I would be careful around the 73.27. The ground beef, the 73.27 is $5.08 per pound, so a good bit more than Aldi's. But like I said, the quality of the Aldi ones, not the 73.27. The other ones may be better, but not that one. And then they don't have an 85.15. They have an 80.20.
It's $5.52.
$5.52. Okay, so one of the things in the article that was the most confusing was that it had hot dogs were $7.50 per pound. And a lot of people said that there is no way that was right. And there isn't. Like, there is nothing other than these right here, but they're not per pound. That $12.99 is almost 3 pounds. So even the organic is nowhere near $7.50. So we're going with the generic, and the per pound would be $1.32 because it's 99 cents for 12 ounces. We run into another snag, right, Joel?
Yep.
We can't find a generic version of hot dogs here at Walmart. The closest thing we can find is Bar S, which I don't think is generic, but the price is, as you can see, $1.18 there. It's $1.57 per pound, right? Okay, so the best we could find is that it looks like Walmart does have Purdue chicken as well as Aldi. $3.49 per pound here for these all natural. So the Purdue whole chicken should be right here. We couldn't find it anywhere, but our app tells us it's in store. You want to do a screenshot of that? Okay. And so we're going to actually price compare it since it's supposed to be here. We have a can of pinto beans here, and is this the price? Yeah. $1.65 for that. And how many ounces is it?
That's 30.
30 ounces, so 88 cents per pound for pinto beans. All right, so the pinto beans, we got a 15.5 ounce can. That's the only size that we could find, but so it's 86 cents. So for a pound it'd be 88 cents, which is the exact same price as it was at Aldi. Okay, and they also had chicken broth on the list, and so we're looking at the generic chicken broth right there. It's $1.35 for the carton, but that's 2 pounds or 32 ounces. So we're dividing that in half, and we're getting 68 cents. All right, so here's the chicken broth here. You can see it is also a 32 ounce container for $1.37. 47 cents for the can of tomato sauce, and it is 8 ounces. So 94 cents for a pound. All right, so tomato sauce is 48 cents here at Walmart. So if you multiplied that time 2, it'd be 96 cents. All right, and we also are looking at these spaghetti noodles. That's a 2-pound box, and they have it for $1.89. So that's 95 cents per pound. All right, at Walmart, the Great Value spaghetti is $1.92, and that's a 2-pound. All right, so another thing they had on the list, I didn't even know how much this costs because we never buy this fruit cocktail and heavy syrup. $1.39. Says the can is 15.25 ounces, so it's not quite a pound.
$1.46.
All right, and the fruit cocktail, $1.48. And
Actually, it's $1.55. That's a 15.25.
the article had a dozen eggs, the only thing 9 pounds, and it said what, $1.79. So we don't know how $1.79 per dozen. We don't know how long ago it was that they actually priced this stuff, because as you can see, eggs are way more expensive than that. But anyway, it's $3.76 here at Aldi. All right, so the dozen eggs, we can't find a price. Like, we couldn't find a little tag to show you, so Joel did a scan of it with his phone, and it's $3.77.
It's right down there.
There's why. It's right there. So that's 1 penny more than you would pay at Aldi, but I will give you a little tip here. Buying in bulk, the eggs are cheaper. Like even here, if you get the 5 dozen, that's $18.28. That's $3.67, I think, per dozen. So it's cheaper to buy that. And as we had one of our viewers point out to us the other day, they were seeing the price of eggs a lot cheaper at Sam's Club. So if you do have a Sam's Club membership, you may be able to get eggs at a much better price than you're getting at Walmart or Aldi. And we did look it up, and if the price is what it was, what we were seeing in our app at Sam's Club, it is much cheaper. So we're probably going to be looking at that soon, so be sure to watch, see what we find at Sam's Club. So they have a pound of butter in their article, and currently it is $3.99 at our Aldi. So the 1 pound of butter is $4.26. So it looks like they have plain Greek yogurt for $3.49 for the canister. It's 2 pounds, so that's $1.76. Alright, so we got the Great Value plain Greek yogurt, $3.54 for 2 pounds, so that's $1.77. They also had 2% milk, and as you can see, ours is currently $2.97 for a gallon. The 2% milk here at Walmart is $2.94. I think that's 3 cents cheaper than at Aldi. We also have corn on the list, frozen corn. It's 97 cents for a 12-ounce bag. So the total would be $1.29. Also, just noticed that there was bags for peas. So we don't know if that was where what they compared or not, but
I'm thinking so. It's $1.29 for a pound of those.
it was $1.29 for a pound. All right, so per pound for the Great Value sweet peas is 98 cents for 12 ounces, $1.31 per pound. The corn here, 98 cents. So that is $6.97 for a berry medley. It's 32-ounce bag, so that's 2 pounds. So divided $6.99 divided by 2, $3.50. All right, so there's 2 options here at Walmart for the berry medley. There's this one that's $3.52 per pound, which is 2 cents per pound more than it was at Aldi if you got the size and divided it. 2 cents more. This one, ironically, normally when you buy things in bulk, it's cheaper, but this is not true here. think he said it was $3.56 or 58 cents per pound to buy this one. So that's why I'd always take, and don't necessarily trust the unit cost, but take that total, $10.74, divided by 3, and find out for yourself which one is cheaper. In this case, the bulk is not cheaper. How ironic, huh?
All right, well, there you have it.
Yeah, as you noticed, we did have to throw out the Macintosh apples because there weren't any in Walmart.
Yep.
So we just took it out of the totals on both charts so that we wouldn't have, like, I mean, obviously you can't compare something to nothing.
Yeah.
So, all right. And we also, you may have noticed in a couple of things, we saw some things that we went ahead and put the comparison in there, but they weren't exactly apples to apples. And they were like the hot dogs. There was no generic brand of hot dogs at Walmart, only at Aldi. And again, in the chart that the AARP magazine did, it had the price of hot dogs at $7.50 per pound at Aldi. We still have no idea where that came from or what they were comparing.
No.
How they did that. But so we tried the generic, and then there wasn't a generic. So we went ahead with the Bar S hot dogs because they were the cheapest ones, but they are not a generic. That is a national brand. It is not only found at Walmart. So I don't know. But we went ahead and left those in. And then on the ground beef, there wasn't exactly a fair comparison, even though it still made Aldi win regardless. But Walmart had 80-20 ground beef, and then they have 93-10. Aldi didn't have those. They had 80-15, 85-15.
Yep.
So so technically it wasn't exactly comparing exactly the same fat percentage on the ground beef. So I don't know. Yeah. But we went ahead and left it in. Like I said, it made Aldi look even cheaper because their 85-15 was cheaper than their 80-20 at Walmart.
Yep.
So I don't know. But here's the totals that we came up with. $68.24 at Aldi.
$69.95 at Walmart for a difference of $1.71.
Yeah.
So $1.71 might be significant. I don't know. It's not nearly as significant as you might think, especially if you don't have the two. Ours are close to about a mile apart. If you don't have them close together, then it may not be significant enough for you to shop at both places if you don't have them close together.
Mm-hmm. And we will tell you, and we've said this in many videos along the way on our channel, Aldi's generic prices, their store brands, are typically, not always 100%, but typically cheaper than any store in our area. But if you see a brand name on their shelf, I would definitely say you need to be price comparing that, because a lot of times that is not cheaper at Aldi, and sometimes it's even more expensive. I would always compare, especially brand names at Aldi. But we compare everything anyway every week that we go. And what we do, because you may be questioning, you may be saying to yourself, I can't go to all these stores every week. Well, what we do is we go to Aldi once a month typically, and we buy the staples, those store brand things that is typically cheaper at Aldi. And then we go to Walmart on those other weeks for things like fresh produce and maybe, a few things that we had to get that wouldn't have been available at Aldi anyway. That is just something to keep in mind. Just because you choose one of the stores and you say, I'm going to shop at this store and I don't want to shop at a bunch of different stores, doesn't mean you have to shop at a bunch of different stores every week. You could do one of them once a month and then go to the other ones every week.
Yep.
So that's something to keep in mind. And also, if you're going to Aldi and it's 20 or 30 minutes away and you're passing Walmarts and local grocery stores and stuff like that, you may not be saving as much money as you think you are because you're spending it in gas instead and wear and tear on your car. So that's just something to consider. Aldi is great. Don't get us wrong. We go there every month at least. But if you don't have an Aldi or you have to, Walmart's closer to you and stuff like that, you're not losing out on that much money. You're probably pretty close to what you would be spending if you went to Aldi. So you don't have to feel too bad about it, okay?
Yep.
Yeah.
All right, so drop us comments below and let us know, do you do multiple grocery stores on your shopping trips? Let us know that. How many often? We'd love to hear those in the comments below. That's going to do it today for the long run. I'm Joel.
I'm Christy.
Don't forget the long run. Give yourself a little grace.
Bye.